Tonight, we're in Lewiston, Maine, the scene of the 565th mass shooting in this country this year. We'll get to CBS's Adriana Diaz in Washington with the day's other top stories, including the war in the Middle East. But we begin tonight here in Maine with a community reeling. 18 people were killed and more than a dozen others injured after a gunman opened fire inside a bowling alley and then in a nearby bar. Tonight, the suspect remains on the run, with the FBI joining state police in the search for 40-year-old Robert Card, who is considered armed and dangerous. Authorities are asking for the public's help in tracking down the Army reservist who was hospitalized this summer for mental health issues, including hearing voices. And tonight, there's FBI activity, including multiple vehicles and heavily armed agents around the suspect's last known residence in Bowdoin, Maine. Tonight, a massive manhunt by air, land, and sea for the suspected gunman behind a mass shooting in southern Maine, with police on alert from Canada to New York.
Yeah, an active shooter. We have multiple injuries.
Gunfire rang out shortly before 7 p.m. Wednesday at Just-in-Time Recreation Bowling Alley, the first of two shooting scenes in Lewiston, Maine. 7 people were killed. A witness described the chaos.
I just booked it down the lane, and I slid basically into where the pins are and climbed up in the machine and was on top of the machines for about 10 minutes until the cops got there.
Minutes later, at 7:08 p.m., frantic 911 calls began streaming in with reports of an active shooter at Shemangi's Bar and Grill, 4 miles away. 8 people there were found dead. More than a dozen people were injured in both shootings. 3 victims later died at the hospital.
We had approximately 100 team members who were off duty come into the hospital to help ensure that we were able to care for not only the patients that we received from these horrible scene, but also take care of the patients that we had there.
Multiple law enforcement agencies, including the FBI and state police, responded to the scenes, searching for the suspect, 40-year-old Army reservist Robert Carr, shown in these surveillance photos carrying a semi-automatic rifle.
He should be considered armed and dangerous. Based on our investigation, we believe this is someone that should not be approached.
3 hours after the shooting began, police discovered an SUV registered to the suspect at a boat launch in the town of Lisbon. Residents in 3 nearby communities were advised to shelter in place. Today, many schools and businesses were closed.
This is a dark day for Maine.
The mass shooting has shattered a sense of security in Maine, considered one of the safest states in the country. Governor Janet Mills spent years working in Lewiston.
This city did not deserve this terrible assault on its citizens, on its peace of mind, on its sense of security. No city does, no state, no people.